What's up guys, ChasingLamely here with episode 20 of Tipping the Hatters, and we've got a new season to start. We are in the Vanarama National League. We've got a whole bunch of news. We're going to go through some transfers, we're going to go through what's going on, and then we're going to play the first game of the season. Might be a bit of a long episode today, but it'll be worth it. So, let's hit the intro and we'll get into it. So let's get into it. We've got a whole bunch I'm not going to go through all of them. Essentially, you'll remember we got given that immense transfer budget and a ridiculous size wage budget to kind of play with. So I signed a bunch of players, and I've signed a lot of young prospects. We're not going to go through everyone because, as you can see, we have signed a lot of players. So let's just go through the ones who are going to be key. Jamie Stotter's come in permanently. I signed Luke Lofts. He was one of the first sort of signings. I organised this back in like January. In fact, it might have been March, because he got released by North Ferriby. Oh, let's not do that. He'd had a decent season. The scout said he was pretty good, so I thought I'd give him a shot, but obviously he couldn't sign until the end of the season. So we're not sure what's going to become of him, but he might play a little bit. Just to see how good he is. I know this is like our 15th best striker, but we'll go with that. Luke Burgess is with us permanently now. Tom Gerald, I think, was another one I arranged pretty early on. Might get some game time. He's up there. Essentially, there's a lot of young players here to develop. We've got Miles Welch-Hayes came in. I think he was someone I looked at as being versatile, decent, plays everywhere across the back. I'm not sure where his best position is. Right back, you'd assume. Yep. So he might get some game time. He's been at Bath, started off at Oxford. He's another prospect. Sebastian Desprez. I'm guessing Desprez. We'll go with Dupree. He's wanted by Miami. We've essentially an American under-20 international. We've picked him up. Okay, 43,000 from Fleetwood. Played for Blackpool for a while. He's been in the MLS. Not really played any first-team football anymore, which is interesting. But if you look at his coach report, like, he's already one of our best midfielders, and we can't complain. He looks like he's going to be a decent player for us. We're probably going to use him as probably a central midfielder on defence. So let's look at where he's going to get, how he looks. Not too young. He needs to work on his heading, but we're working on that. He could be something special for us. We've got Harry Williams came in. I spent money on. Essentially, is another attacking option. I'm thinking I'm going to send Simon Chubik out on loan this season if I can. He's been all over the place. Got some goals. He looked good. When we played Gloucester last season, I thought he looked good against us, so I picked him up. Reece Turner has obviously signed him a permanent for 75k. We know all about him. Frankie Masonda signed for 40. We know all about him. I think Ben Fraser might be one of the guys who we see a little bit of this season as well. His stats are dropping. I'm not too worried. He'll pick up once he starts playing some football. Just come in from Port Vale. After a while out of the game, actually. Who else are we looking at that might be important? Harvey White came in from Liverpool. He's a quality player. His stats, his scout report doesn't say much about it, but you remember we had the Liverpool save on the channel, and he was a guy I quite liked using from the bench, and he always played really well. So I'm hoping it's one of those situations where what you see here doesn't necessarily reflect the player he truly is. and if not, we'll sell him on. It's not drama. Rahis Nabi came in, and he'll play a lot of football for us this season. Really high potential. He comes in from Burnley, and he just looks good. He just looks like a good player. Again, probably most likely be playing either central midfield or balling midfielder. Needs to work on his determination, but we'll try and tutor that out of him, so we can see what kind of player we can turn into. We brought Jack Stevens in on a free. We had him on loan last season. I've put him on a development list because I don't think he's quite ready yet, given what's happened in this window. Tom Dyson's come in as a central midfielder. Comes in from Hull's, play for Swansea. He just looks good. Just looks like another really solid player. Again, he's going to kind of play in that sort of role. So lots of work done in midfield. Lots of work in midfield for this season. Theo Richardson's come in, and he's probably going to be our number one keeper this year. So we should probably get to know him a little bit. Nothing in here overly impressive, but our coaches rate him highly, and if not, we've still got Owen Wheeler as backup. He's coming from Man United, so he can't be a bad player if he got to Man United, can he? That's my theory. Otherwise, Fabien Robert came in. He's going to play a little bit of football for us this season. I brought him in as a backup option. He's a guy, essentially, he's a guy I know from being a Swindon fan. He used to play for us. He's one of those players who can be either sublime or awful, but when he's on top form, he's just untouchable. So I'm hoping that's reflected in the game. Michelle Parker's coming again from Liverpool, centre half. Just bags and bags of potential. He will probably play quite a bit of football this season. Alex Bradley's come in from Finland, the least Finnish name ever, but we'll go with it, from West Brom. Again, a guy who's probably get some chances. We're going to be rotating a lot, as you can imagine. Other players I've brought in that I quite like. Nick Clayton-Phillips came in because I wanted some cover on the wings. He's a player I've used before. I had him in my personal Oxford City save very early on, and he was a wonderful backup option. Always seems to play well. Paddy McLaughlin's come in. I don't usually like signing older players, but he's naturally a defensive midfielder in the centre, and that's good. He's been around a bit, but he could do something for us, and that's what I'm kind of banking on. Konozidis, Uzanidis, there we go. Greek centre half, came from Everton. Usually, it's one of the things I've known from playing sort of games long term. He usually develops into something sort of mid-championship, so we'll hope he's got what it takes to stay here a while. And Colin Rosler, Norwegian, came from Man City. Interesting, because you'd assume he would be Uwe Rosler's kid. Yeah, interesting. I'm sure there's a really good reason why he is playing for Norway. I'm guessing Uwe Rosler's married to a Norwegian. Maybe that would explain it. Anyway, that will be a thing. So a few signings. We'll meet them as we go along. Let's do that. We'll meet them as we go along. So otherwise, financially, we are looking good. You'll notice there's been a bit of a drop. I'm expecting to claim that back because we got the board to do some work on things like training facilities and data analysis, and there's money being spent to improve the club. In terms of the club, we are still semi-professional, which is not ideal. I don't think we've made the favourite personnel list just yet. I'm going to go with a no, but a few familiar faces have made the list already, so that's all good. We've had a change in captain. Liam Lawrence is still at the club, but I don't think he's going to play much. So James Graham's taken the armband, and Masondis is back up, because I think one or the other will always be in the team. In terms of what's come before, in pre-season, I played a lot of pre-season games because I needed to get that money back up after I accidentally spent way too much on training facilities. So we played Watford and lost. Dundee drew. Rangers lost. Dundee United drew. Dundee we lost. Drew with Everton's pretty creditable, as things go. Drawing with Everton is never a bad thing. Lost to Kilmarnock, beat St Johnstone, lost to Hibernian, drew with Motherwell, beat Partick Thistle, beat Falkirk, beat Bradford Park Avenue, drew with Oldham, beat West Brom, beat Grimsby, lost to Hamilton, beat Dundee United the second time of asking, lost heavily to Rotherham, but we'll take that, and then we've just smashed Stafford. So today's game we're playing Eastleigh, and I guess we should kind of get into that. Is the best way to do this. Okay, so here's the preview for the game. We're playing Eastleigh. They are the favourites, as you'd expect, because they've been at this level for a while and they've got quite a bit of money. As you can see by the fact they can afford to have Gary McSheffrey just out. We'll find out more about them in a second. Into our team selection for the day. Oh, that's gone a long way down there, isn't it? Some very new faces have come in. So Theo Richardson's in goal, making his debut for the club. Colin Rosler is playing at right back alongside Graham and Stott today. Dewberry at left back. Burgess, Ball, Desprez and Stevenson in the middle. Oswald and Turner as always up front. Masonda, Warburton, Tubic and Minahan on the bench with Wheeler. It's a pretty standard lineup for us. And obviously usually we'd have Minahan at right back, we'd usually have Warburton where Desprez is, Masonda being for Stott, but Stott seems to be happy and playing well, so we'll go with him today. So a chance to see some new faces, chance to see some old faces. We're going to slowly evolve the team as we go along, as you'd expect. I'm hoping the fact I've signed so many new players hasn't completely destroyed the dressing room. Let's have a quick look at the dynamics, but I don't think it's done too much to destroy it. There's a few players want to leave, that's fine, they can get over it. Hierarchy wise, it hasn't upset things too much. None of the new signings really forced their way into any kind of position of power, and there's no players opposing us, so that's a winner. Okay, let's submit the team and then we'll see what's going to happen when we get, well, we'll see who they're playing against us and we'll see what happens in the game. Back in a sec. Okay, so these are the lineups we've got. You've already seen ours. For them we've got probably players I should recognise. That Danny Hollins? Feels like it should be Danny Hollins. It is Danny Hollins. Danny Hollins played for Portsmouth, played for Swindon for a little while, played for Bournemouth, Charlton. I've seen the lad play and he always looked like he had just absolute tons of potential, but obviously hasn't really fulfilled it. So that's good for us and awful for him, I guess. Jack Hartley, can't say I know much about him, but there we go, his name just kind of sprung out of me, someone I might know. Tom McCready making his debut. Yeah, Tom McCready making his debut. He's played for Fylde, for Exeter, been all over the place, one of those guys who's just been around. I remember him being really good on one version of FM, but I couldn't tell you which one. Any of these names pop out? I feel like I should know Raider Johnson's name. If it will show me his profile. I feel like I should know his name, I don't know why. Coventry, Sheffield Wednesday. He's been around. He's been around. Okay. Another good player who's joined the money train. Have we got here? Max Aarons. Don't know anything about him. Don't think I know anything about these guys up top. Well, Paul McCallum sounds familiar. Do I know him from somewhere useful? He's one of those guys who's been around again. Leyton Orient, Portsmouth, West Ham, Hearts, Torquay, Wimbledon. He's been about. That guy has been about a bit. I'm assuming that's Richie Cresswell on the bench. Ryan Cresswell, still a name I vaguely know. He's played everywhere in the league. Probably quite decent, even at this level. There must be Sam Togwell there as well, another name that springs up for having been around a little bit. Yeah, all over the place. Championship, League 1, League 2. Did some time in the Premier League and everything. There we go. Okay, so we're playing slightly bigger teams. Pundits reckon it's going to be a draw. We're going to see what happens because that's what we do. Apologies for such a long episode, we've got to get the pre-season stuff in before we play the game, so that's kind of what takes so long. I was going to do them in two separate videos, but it was going to take me twice as long to render it, and you'd end up with a video with no match, and it's been a while. So let's just do the match. Let's get into it. Eastleigh looking fetching in their weird yellow kit. Actually, funnily enough, I suspect Eastleigh have probably got this kit because I know the guy that owns them is a really big Oxford fan. So it wouldn't surprise me if this kit was some kind of like homage to Oxford. Because I have a feeling they usually play in like white and blue off the top of my head. Anyway, random trivia for you, but I suspect that's the reason their kit looks like Oxford's. We've moved up a position without even doing anything. That's the glory of the first day of the season. No real movement so far, and we've got a shot on target. That's always a nice way to start things off. But again, too many fouls. We need to kind of keep an eye on that. Rosler's not entirely fit, so Sam Minahan's probably going to make an appearance later on. They've got a couple of players who aren't fully fit too, though. We're still moving up the league just by virtue of being not beaten. No one's really standing out for us, and it's a really even performance, and the pundits predicted a draw. Obviously, opening day, anything could happen. You see it all the time. Some unexpected team will win 7-0 on the opening day because the team they're playing against haven't met yet. But we'll see how it goes. Rosler's picked up an interception, passes it back to Richardson. Let me close that because that's in my way. Turner's got the ball. That's what we need. Reece Turner making a breakthrough, gets a shot on goal, but it's off target. Frankly, he had 3 men on the inside of him. He probably couldn't even see the goal properly, much less get a shot on target from there. So we're not going to hold that against him. Rosler now with the throw. And what can he do with this? Short one to ball. Ball's got it back to Rosler. Rosler with a ball into Burgess. Burgess to Turner, and Reece Turner's got his first goal of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Reece Turner on the score sheet. That's what he does. Just scores goals for us. It's just scoring goals. Just as casually as he walks down the street, Reece Turner scores goals. Beautiful pass into Burgess. Burgess, I don't know how he picked out that pass through 4 guys, but he's done it, and Reece Turner has just tapped it in. That'll be the easiest finish he has all season. And we're 1-0 up in the opening game, boys. That's okay. We'll take that. I was worried about how we'd adapt to a higher level. At no stage have I thought we were going to go down. The pre-season prediction said we're going to finish mid-table as Turner comes onto the ball. Finds Burgess. Burgess can get a cross in here. Oh, finds Stevenson, but he can only find the side netting. The cross was a bit shit, to be honest. But yeah, we're predicted to finish mid-table. That's kind of where I was aiming for. That said, last season we were aiming for mid-table, and look what happened. But it's okay. Stevenson finds ball to Turner. Turner back to ball. Ball through to Burgess. Oh, Luke Burgess, I don't know how he's missed that. At some stage, guys, and I keep threatening this, I've just moved back to uni for the year, so I'm still settling in. At some point we're going to do a video where we talk about what our plans are for FM19. There are a few things in the mix, but if you've got any suggestions, leave them in the comment below, along with your likes and subscribes, because that's always good. Oh, Luke Burgess has scored a goal whilst I was waffling on. Really should have been paying attention. But that's 2-0, and we're up to third. Up to third already. Be top of the league by the end of this one, boys. Cross in from the corner, ball picks it up, ball's passed it to Stevenson. Stevenson's just found Burgess with miles of space, and that's a beautiful finish from close range. Nicely done. Yeah, if you've got any suggestions for what you'd like to see for FM19, leave it in the comments below. I'm currently thinking, obviously we'll have a beta save, which it'll be I pick a random Premier League team and mess around for a little while, if I'm honest. But once we get into the main save, I'm thinking either what I'll do is something like this, where we start at the bottom, maybe we'll start unemployed and see where we end up. Because I'm hoping I'll have got a proper gaming PC by then rather than a laptop. So that might be an option for us. Otherwise, I'm thinking of doing a save in Gibraltar, just because I always enjoy playing in Gibraltar. It's quite quick, it's quite a good pace, you can build the league up. We'll see what we can do with that. The alternative to that, in my head, is for those of you who remember the TV show Dream Team, I might want to resurrect Harchester United. Just some options I'm toying about with in my head. I've got nothing concrete yet. I might end up just playing with Swindon because we don't get enough love from, you know, the FM community, and frankly we're just in the shit right now, so it'd be nice to drag us out of it. There are options. We might even come back to Stockport because I'm really enjoying being here. So let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see for the new game, because I need to start thinking about that. I need to do a video on it, and we need to kind of get moving on that as soon as possible. I want to try and do more experiments with FM19 as well. It's a bit late in the game for 18, but it'd be nice to do some experiments with 19, so that might be a thing. And I'm toying with doing some videos on other games for the channel as well, but you know, we're an FM channel first and foremost, and that's kind of what's going to stay. I shouldn't be on this screen because that's going to end in a goal. Bloody did as well. Should have seen that coming. Really. Oswald scored himself a goal. Oh, it's been disallowed. That's brilliant. Just as I decided to come out of the tactics screen, it turns out it was disallowed. I don't think we're going to see one in the background. Let's put Sam Minahan on because Rosler's looking tired. Swap Stott and Dewberry because Stott's looking tired. Dewberry's looking tired. And we'll send in Masonda. Just trying to hold on to the lead is a lot of my thinking here. I'm not looking uncomfortable in the game anyway, but you know, fresh legs at the back could always reap benefits. And I think Simon Tubic might come on in a sec too, purely because he's wanted for loan already. He's probably going to go to Boston United, it looks like, and we'd like to see how he does at this level before we make a call. Oh, Oswald with a near miss, a really near miss. Oswald hasn't got his eye in, so we'll sacrifice him. I think Reece Turner is probably better there than Tubic is, in all honesty. So we'll do that. I don't know how, since last season, Tubic seems to have got worse at playing as a target as a centre forward. Oh, there we go. That works out. Nice and simple. Okay. Got 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get Simon Tubic to put in a performance at this level. He might impress me enough that I need to keep him around this season to develop. But I think a whole season of regular football at sort of Conference South North level will probably do him the world of good in terms of his development. He needs a whole season under his belt really before he can come into our first team. Oh, Boyce has picked Masonda's pocket and now he's clean through. Oh, that's shooting though. Graduate of the Dele Alli School of Shooting. Just unbelievably poor. Yeah, I'd like Tubic to be able to play every week. I can't give that to him this season. Realistically, I can't really give it to him until we've sold either Turner or Oswald, but I think if I can keep him playing regular football, the division below us or in the same division, oh, Reece Turner hits the post, then that's going to that'll help him, help his development a little bit. That's my thinking anyway. I'd like him to keep developing. I think we've got a real gem of a player. He's only young, but I think we've got a gem of a player on our hands here. I think we've got into that seeing the game out mode now. I mean, we've won at the moment. As I say that, they've got a corner. Adipra, oh come on, get it clear. There we go. Turner's got the ball. Oh, we're going to hit them on the break. There's a thing. Turner running down the wing. What's he got? Find someone. Oh, that was poor. He had so many options there. He's won it back though. Fair play to him for tracking back, winning the ball. It's good to see. It's really good to see that. And we're going into injury time. I think we're just going to see this one out. Didn't send Tubic on in time to get him a rating, unfortunately, but that's life. He has the last touch of the game though, and Luke Burgess won man of the match. That's a winner. Did Tubic get given a token rating? He didn't. He didn't quite make it to the 20 minutes they needed. 2-0 win, boys. 2-0 win. We're not going to look at the league table because, frankly, it's day one of the season and no one cares. Just being honest. So, good win to start the season. I don't know if we'll be on the same. We'll keep the same train of momentum going we had last season. I'd love it if we did, but I don't think we're going to get out of this division first time of asking, if I'm honest. And I don't. If in an ideal world, I don't think I'd like to do 19 episodes this season, which I'm sure you'll understand because I've got uni, and also it felt like it was dragging to me a little bit. It's taken essentially 10 weeks to get this far, and that's not ideal. Let's just have a look at anything news-wise that might be worth us checking out. Burgess is delighted at being backed. Let's just say nice things to him. Yeah, so I think we're probably going to do less episodes this year than we did last year, unless we start doing well in the cups, because we'll follow that again if we do. So let's have a look at where we're at in terms of big games coming up. I think Wrexham might be. I think we're going to come back for Torquay. We'll come back for the Torquay game because that's the biggest team I can kind of see coming. With all respect to every one of the fans in the way, or along the way, I should say. I know Crawley are in there, but that's too soon to come back for my liking. I'm sure we'll play them next time round. Yeah, so we'll come back for that Torquay game in the next episode. That feels like a good block of 8 games between episodes. Yeah, the math works out. The math works out on that one perfectly. We'll do the Torquay game, and then we'll probably come back around Tranmere just to see how that goes. So that's pretty much the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies if I've not been on top form today. I've spent the last few days moving house back into uni halls, and also this is the first video I've actually, full disclosure, recorded in about 2-3 weeks because I've been on holiday. So I'm not entirely on form, but it'll adjust itself. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button to follow us up the leagues and to find out what I decide to do with the channel in the future, and check out all the links below because that would be really nice. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much.